Cassie Webb is a young woman who is a paramedic in New York City, and she is pretty shut off in terms of how she connects with people. She doesn't get very cozy or close, and she, holds everything close to her chest and isn't very vulnerable. And she meets these three girls after she's had an accident where her clairvoyant powers kick in, though she thinks she's losing her mind. And she starts on this journey of feeling like she needs to save them and protect them. And through that, I think her walls kind of come down and she grows to genuinely love them.
Get up. Get off. Get off. Get up. Me? Go. Get off. You're gonna die if you stay here. Get up.
You are? Are you threatening us?
Get up. Hey, give me that back.
Madam Webb in the comics is an older woman who is in a wheelchair, and she's like fully in her powers. And when we meet her, it's her origin story. So you meet Cassie Webb, and it's before she knows that she has powers, and she has an accident where her powers begin to kick in, and then she learns how to really harness them, and she sort of becomes Madam Webb.
That's it, Cassie, freeze! Come on!
Did I die?
SJ is an incredibly specific and talented director, and what her visions are really detailed and intricate, and she knows exactly how to execute them. And she works so hard, and she doesn't give up and doesn't move on until she knows that what she has is perfect. It's really fun to see a new kind of Marvel movie. It's really grounded in reality. It's more of a psychological thriller than it is like a big world that you don't have an entry point into. You can really relate to these characters, and it's a standalone world. It's Madam Web's world, and she's new and fresh and complicated, and I think it's really inspiring.
Hi, sir. All right, I'm gonna cut your seatbelt.
Ezekiel Sims is the villain of the story, and he is introduced because he was with Cassie's mom when she was in the Amazon, and he was working there with her. Ends up stealing this spider and has these visions of his life being taken from him by these three girls. So he tries to kill them before they kill him. Cassie gets in the middle of all of that and, saves the day.
Who are you? What is going on? I can see the future.
Oh, what the hell?
She didn't see that coming?
That's not how it works.
It was a lot of fun. We woke up early every morning, and it was like a boot camp. We had running drills that felt like soccer drills. We were rolling on the ground. We were doing wire work.
Learning how to punch, too.
We had fighting classes. It was really fun.
We would dance, too, though. Shahab, the stunt coordinator, was a really fun guy.
Yeah, we would play music through all our stunt rehearsals, too, to get us in the zone. It was honestly so fun.
We wanted to live there.
No, literally. I want Shahab to adopt me.
I can see the future.
Oh, what the hell?
She didn't see that coming?
That's not how it works.
Madam Web is such a unique take on the superhero film because it's so grounded in tone and style, and I think it's also really character-based and character-driven, which I love because we got to really dive deep into all three of our characters, and then it's really the heart of the movie is about our relationship to each other. And so all of the amazing supernatural powers and fantastical elements are grounded and rooted in our relationship to each other as women, and I think that's really beautiful.
Get off, get off. Get up. Me? Go. Get off. You're gonna die if you stay here. Get up.
You are? Are you threatening us?
Get up. Hey, give me that back.
Skateboard back.
Give me that back.
It was so discreet. Everyone was being so secretive. You know, the characters had code names. And basically you got a gist of like their personalities, and they sent a breakdown of each character, and they were like, but the only one you can't pick is Jess's character, who was in the script, is Julia, the code name. And so I actually chose Maddie's character, the secret name was Millie. And they were like, okay, great. We would actually love to see you read for Addie. And that was a character I hadn't really had experience, like a type of character I hadn't had experience with. 'Cause she's just like really intelligent and fast and quick-witted, and I like that.
Please set the scene of time. You are the only one who can change the future.
I always feel like seeing a movie in the theaters is just a way more immersive experience. This movie has huge set pieces, action, it's thrilling, and being able to feel that with others and with a crazy surround sound and big screen, it really just draws you into that world.
I describe it as a fresh take on superhero movies, psychological thriller with everything you'd like in it, like action, emotions, and a good soundtrack. It's different from the villain I've seen so far because he's not, trying to take revenge or trying to destroy the world or the universe. He's just fighting for his survival, as a random man could do somehow. But he just decided to, he made the wrong choices.
I think I'm seeing the future.
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
What do you want from me?
It was a great experience working with SJ. She's very collaborative, always open to suggestions, dialogue. And what we've done together is to build a psychological aspect to this character, which was we talked about his past and how does it feel and how can you eventually become sort of crazy when you see the same nightmare every night.
All right, I'm gonna cut your seatbelt.
At some point, you cannot make the difference between your dreams and the reality. So it's quite interesting because I talked with a psychologist about it, and she told me that the only moment they feel relieved and in peace is when they at dawn, because they can't really say if they're dreaming or not. And then they go back to their craziness.
She thinks she's losing her mind.
You are the only one who can change the future.
I trained a lot for 3 months and over the course of the shooting as well. For an average of 4 to sometimes 6 times a week, 2 hours a day, with a personal trainer and the stuntman. We went through fighting choreographies, acrobatics, wires, flexibility, all of it. And it was fun. And we tried to find a way to move that create a specific body language, inspired by a specific spider. It's more about this, that he's not gonna be the only one with powers, and he's afraid of death. And I think above all, he's terrified of losing what he's built. He doesn't have family anymore. Everything he's built is threatened, and his life.
This is an emergency. Get off the train.
That man's trying to kill you.
What?
Who are you? What is going on?
The only bad thing we see him doing in this movie is trying to stay alive somehow. We don't see him doing bad things all around, I think he could be a good guy. But, his blessing is his curse at the same time. So this eventually turned him into his life into a nightmare.
Firstly, I was so lucky to get Dakota. She is such a brilliant actress with such breadth and depth, and she's very funny, dryly funny. She almost has a British sense of humour, so we got on very well. But we had, what I like to do with all my actors is sit down and actually do like a mini read-through of the script. So we would read through the scenes together. So I'd read all the other parts, and she would be Cassie, and sometimes I think we even switched. But, it's a great opportunity to kind of really uncover what the story is and what the character's about in those moments. And that was probably the beginning of our great collaboration, because we really started to get beneath the bones of the character and kind of really feel who she is and discuss the moments of clairvoyance and the journey that she was about to go on.
Hi, sir. All right, I'm gonna cut your seatbelt.
In the beginning, it was pretty scary about how I was going to do clairvoyance, because it's not your obvious superpower. And then I thought about how do you show psychic powers, and I have no idea. I've never had a psychic or clairvoyant moment, but I did think about memory and the fact that memory is just psychic powers in reverse, right? Something that you've experienced, but you're recalling. So the memory doesn't necessarily come in a linear way. It's often a slipstream. Images, a cacophony of sound. It doesn't quite gel. You're piecing things together. So that was sort of the inspiration, is sort of my own memory. And I'd done a series where it was a lot about memory and flashback. So how to deal with that. And then the technique we use is, because it felt so psychological and cerebral and therefore grounded, I wanted to make sure that we did most of it in camera. So I used a diopter, which and sometimes a flashlight or a torch, as we call it in the UK, and would sort of like slice that through the lens. And that would be used as a cutting point. And that cutting point, you would then reset it again, but with the actors being killed or being thrown or something horrible happening, and then splice back. And so you would use this technique to basically, and then in the edit, splice together each of those pieces. No diopter's the same. There isn't one clairvoyant moment that's the same in the movie. I think we worked it out, there's something like 2,900 edits in the film. It is the most cuts I've ever had in anything, ever.
Place at the sea. You are the only one who can change the future.
I think what's so great about seeing this movie in the theatre is it is a psychological thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seats, but it's also got some great action scenes. But at the heart, it's about these characters and connections, and there is an emotional through line to it, which I think is really kind of fun, and there's comedy, and I hope that they leave thinking they've had a really great time.
You're showing off.
Maybe a little.